Well, here we are back again in Mittenrahm in the Maudel, the ancient swamp. Just slow, steady progress, really. Obviously, this has been done now for several weeks, months in fact. I've done a little bit of tweaking with the terrain, doing more decorative work. Just finishing touches really, while I work on other areas. You can see that it's still not done. This section still needs this kind of thing done to it. Still haven't decided about this place. I'm not sure how many tree mushrooms were in place. I think I'd only just settled on doing orange and then the woody-like one, and they've just been applied randomly. Primarily the orange, some of the yellow ones, and I think last time the trees were all done. I'm not sure how much of the little puddles and patches I'd done. I certainly hadn't done the melon, that was only added yesterday. And then some work has been done down here. I'm mostly focusing in this direction, just slowly incorporating it. I'm kind of trying to do a sweep through, so that I started here and I'm just moving around doing each tunnel as I come to it, and I realized I should have included this one. I ought to go back and correct that before I carry on. Yeah, so there's a variety of things have been done. This tunnel's had all of the coral used. There's really nothing more to it than this. Just taking up space. It's not really meant to have a greater function. And then some work has been put in place in here. This needs to be lit up, probably using the glowberries as much as possible. I keep forgetting about the ancient lichen as well. Probably try making some use of that. This was difficult because it was difficult to know where things were supposed to be stopped and where they were carrying on. And I'm actually considering sealing this off completely. I mean, it provides access to this, but that's not something I really need. And outside of that, it's kind of, there's a lot to it, and I'm really not sure about, you know, decorating all of this. It just doesn't seem like it has much of a point to do it. Where did I just come out? Oh, there we go. So the focus has now been over here. Obviously more trees have gone in. I'm actually getting very close to being done with the trees. I think that's one. Actually, yeah, there'll be no more full-size trees. There's going to be a couple of trees that have got burnt tops. The rest will be like that one, and I think there are 2 more of these well-charred ones to be done. So the trees are nearly over though, as I say, which will be a relief. It's been a lot of repetitive work, unfortunately. have put some moss down on some of them. I'm not sure if moss is supposed to be north facing. I can't remember which way around that goes. I think it may be hemisphere based as well. It's not really been working that well, which is why I've only done bits and pieces. But I'll see about it. I do still need to do some more mushrooms on this part. That needs to be done. I'm finally settled on actually building a fire temple. It will look pretty much the same style as these two, with more of a hint of the elemental component rather than baking it into the actual structure of the build. So it won't be particularly flame colored, but there may be some sort of flame based motive. I'm not really sure, but I'll be building the destroyed volcano first, so I know what I'm working with, and I can maybe modify it if necessary. Although that does leave the water temple, which I'm still not 100% sure on where that would go. This bay here was one of the contenders, and just outside of the bay is this underground hollow. That's the only way I can think to describe it. It's just a crack in the hills. Either side might be a good place for a water temple. I'll see. But at the moment, the last thing I was actually doing yesterday was this little section. I've been stuck on exactly how to incorporate, transition the Maudel into the plains biome. And part of the step forward in that was converting this part of the desert into stone. I felt that worked really well, and it just left this tract of land. And I don't know, I just feel like the way that I've done this, it just feels like it's a natural end. Maybe I need to do some stone here, and then it's just a case of, oh, it's this piece of land, and I hit on this idea that when Aurelian, who is the elemental lord, went away from his, well, his duties as the lord of the elements, his 4 sons got into a bit of a fight / argument, and they ended up tearing up part of the Maudel between them. They did so much damage that even hundreds of years later it's still not really showing much in the way of recovery. This is, I think, maybe slightly more recent. It's possible that this was actually this may have actually been done when the fire elemental was born. A lot of ideas, not entirely clear on how they fit together in some cases, but this is probably going to be the extent of this. That may become stone. I may try and fit some splotches in the middle, but I'm looking at keeping this exactly the way that it is. Just do a little bit more, really. I had thought that there would be some ordinary mangrove trees. That's still possible. I was thinking at one point that this entire section would be dirt. You can see this is one layer, and yeah, that would have been dirt, and been dried out, and there would have been much smaller trees spread across it. But I mean, that's still possible. This damage seems to I've limited it to this, and I don't feel like adding an additional spike. I don't kind of see the point, so this may be it. I'll have to see. But that's where I'm at. I don't think it's going to be much longer before this place is finished, although that's probably a lot of work. That still needs a lot of work to finish it. It isn't half done, and the ravine still needs to be done. This needs to be finished, but that's actually a lot more straightforward. The finishing is almost in place anyway, so it's a question of repetition rather than any more thought. There we go, that's the status at the moment. And on that, I shall say adieu. See you in another couple of weeks.